This is it, the Championship Football Manager Series tier list. Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. We are going to be doing a tier list on Football Manager and Championship Manager series, going from Championship Manager 0102 up until Football Manager 2020. Now, we all know nobody agrees with tier lists, and I don't agree with half of the stuff I see on tier lists. We're going to have a few nostalgic moments, we're going to look at some previous Wonderkids, and don't forget, this is my personal tier list, so this is what I've done from my experiences on the game, and yeah, let's get right into it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comment section below if you have enjoyed this, if you do agree with me, and please let me know if you'd like me to do any more tier lists regarding Football Manager. It could be Wonderkids, this year's version. Let me know, because I can make a little series out of this. And let's have a look at the tier list. Okay, so we have 5 tiers. We have greatest of all time, we have amazing, we have good, okay, and never play again. I can already tell this is going to be extremely difficult. And here we go, number 1, Championship Manager 0102. Now, this was the game that I started playing the series at this point. I remember discovering the game and just falling in love, hence why I've played, I'm still playing the game. And, I mean, can you remember some of the Wonderkids? You've got Mark Kerr, you've got Maxim Tisalgo, you've got the fictional character, Tu Madeira, you've got Cherno Samba. All these players was what kind of made me just fall in love discovering these type of players. So for me, Championship Manager 0102 will go into the greatest of all time. Okay, we move on to Championship Manager 0203, a game that, if you guys remember, was released on console on Xbox. And I remember getting this game on Xbox, and honestly, it was the most dreadful thing I've ever tried to play. It was horrible. There was, of course, a PC version, but the Xbox version at the time had more players and it had a bigger database. Therefore, for me, that wasn't great. And can you guys remember the controller with your Xbox when you scored a goal, how it would vibrate? And it was so loud. So for me, the worst game probably in this tier list is Championship Manager 0203. I honestly, if I had the chance, I would never play that game again. On top of that, I can remember how long it used to take on Xbox, on console, to load. It used to take like 3 to 4 minutes just to load a game. It was unreal. Moving on to Championship Manager 0304. Now, for me, this one was kind of a new interface, if I remember rightly, from the Xbox version. Like, can you guys remember some of the Wonderkids for this one? I can really remember, like, Lionel Morgan. You can remember Todorov, Kakarov, Vitex. You also had Rensato, the Brazilian 17-year-old at the time, I think. And he scored, a lot of goals. But I always remember Lionel Morgan just scoring goals for fun. Sometimes 50, 60 goals a season. And I think for me, Championship Manager 0304, a lot of people recreate the database for this as well because it was such a good game. So I'm kind of on the edge of greatest of all time and amazing. I think in comparison to Championship Manager 0102, I think I'm going to put it at amazing. I think, it's a great game. I'd play it again if I had the chance. But yeah, we're going to put Championship Manager 0304 at amazing. On to Football Manager 2005 now. Now, there's a few things I can remember about this game. Firstly, the main thing was Freddie Adu. Freddie Adu was 15 years old, I think, at the time. And, he was the biggest Wonderkid on the game. I'm sure you can all remember Freddie Adu. You've also got Lionel Messi. You could sign for, like, less than 5 million. One of the best players on the game was Ronaldinho at, like, 25 or 24. I can't remember. But there are a few things I do remember. I don't remember playing it that much because it was a new interface and it was kind of a bit awkward. I know they had a lot of issues with the match engine and stuff like that, but it was their first year taking over. And, the match engine and stuff like that, it was still kind of ahead of its time, I guess, at that point. So for me, Football Manager 2005 is going to go in okay. Football Manager 2006. Now, this game almost felt like it was like the golden generation of the series. You had Rooney, you had Messi, you had Ronaldo, you had all these players coming through. Lucas Podolski, you had Akinfeev, Rubinho, Sergio Aguero, Ramos, company, all of them players was kind of coming through as 16, 17-year-olds, and there was Wonderkids on the game. And for me, I mean, they had a lot of things as well. Like, I believe there was new training, there was in-game tips, that type of stuff. And for me, again, I think I am going to move Football Manager 2006 to good. Moving on to Football Manager 2007 now. For me, Football Manager 2007, I played a lot of, and I think they upgraded the interface quite a bit, the scouting. There was a lot of new features added. I remember I'm on the verge of kind of amazing, but I think maybe I'm going to actually select goods. I do remember the feeder clubs being added, but I don't know if it was the version where they added so many new features that there was a few bugs. I'm not 100% sure on that one, so for that reason, I'm going to put it at good. I know the match engine and stuff had a little upgrade. It was easier to find players and scouting and stuff like that. But I'm going to put that one at good. Moving on to Football Manager 2008 was the introduction of the regen faces. Now, before 2009, if I can remember rightly, they was just like blank faces, but they introduced kind of the face mapping of the regens. So it gave it a little bit of a unique style, and that's kind of where your regen faces started on FM 2009. They revamped the transfer centre. They also changed the finances as well. So I think for me, Football Manager 2008 will go also to good. Let's go good for Football Manager 2008. I know a lot of people tell me that is their favourite version. So this is going to be a little bit debatable. I'm still unsure. Make sure you watch the video the entire length just to see if I change my mind. Football Manager 2009, the introduction of the 3D match engine, and I've literally just looked back to see how the match engine fared in comparison to 2020, and honestly, you can actually see the difference. But at the time, you know, it was so exciting. You finally got the 3D match engine, so I'm really on the edge with greatest of all time and amazing. I think it's definitely better than good, but I just don't know if it's greatest of all time. There was a lot of issues, but of course that's going to happen when you've got a new game and a new match engine. So I'm going to go with amazing. I think, you know, based on the game, there was a lot of new features, but the main thing with that version was the match engine. Football Manager 2010. I remember personally putting lots of hours into this game, and I remember when they redid the UI and it looked so smooth. Just go and check on Google now. Go and have a little look and you'll see how smooth the game looked. So for me, for that reason alone, and based on the amount of hours I put into it, I'm going to put FM 2010 into amazing. Football Manager 2011 now. For some reason, I didn't play much of this. I don't know why. I can't really remember that much from it. So for that reason, I'm going to put this at okay. I mean, you guys might have to let me know in the comments. I just can't seem to remember much from this game. I know they introduced, obviously, the new contract system. Maybe that's why. Maybe the agents just annoyed me. Football Manager 2012 now. The only thing I can really remember is the fact that it got moved to Steam, and that's when you had to go online and activate the code. So, honestly, I did play the game quite a bit, but again, I can't really remember much. And I'm going to put that, for that reason, at okay. Football Manager 2013 now. This is the year that they made it possible to connect to network games much easier. Now, a little bit of nostalgia for you. Who can remember a program called Hamachi? What you used to use to connect to Football Manager before you could do it on Steam. I'm going to move Football Manager 2013 to good. Football Manager 2014 now. This is the game where I probably spent the most amount of hours on this game. This is where I started streaming. I started doing YouTube in 2014. So I generally spent more time. And for me, for that reason alone, of course there was lots of new features added as well. But for that reason, Football Manager 2014, because I played the most of it, is going to go in the greatest of all time. Football Manager 2015. I don't know if you guys can remember the bug of when you used to... If you remember when you used to sign a player and literally a month later, the guy would come complaining about first team football if he wasn't playing. And it was literally like a month. And I didn't really play that much of it. I don't know if it was in real life stuff. So for that reason, based on the fact that I didn't play much of it, and there's a few annoying bugs which I didn't like. I'm actually going to put this at never play again. This is going to cause a bit of debate. Some of you might think FM15 was your favourite game. Like I say, I'm intrigued. I want to know your guys' thoughts. If I've missed something about 15 that was added and I forgot, please let me know in the comments. This is all about adding to the comments and just telling me I'm wrong, basically. Football Manager 2016 was really the introduction of Fantasy Draft and Creator Club. I mean, there was Pro Zone stuff as well, but, you know, the Creator Club and the Fantasy Draft wasn't something that I particularly enjoyed playing. Though I did play it because it was new, but not something that I was really that interested in. Of course, you know, the game, I played a lot of hours on the game. I was regularly streaming on Twitch. So I'm going to move Football Manager 2016 to OK. Now, Football Manager 2017, I was kind of waiting to get to this because it's kind of mixed emotions with this game, this one. I think, personally, the match engine of FM17 is probably better than FM20. Now, that's saying something. Honestly, I do. I mean, I spent probably the most, if not the most amount of hours on FM17. I absolutely love the game. Edition-wise, though, they didn't really add much. They added a face scanner for your avatar. The most pointless feature that they added was, of course, the social interaction tab, which they kind of made a feature, and I know they got a lot of backlash for that because it wasn't really anything, to be honest. I know it's still in the game now, but I think the fact that, overlooking that, I really enjoyed the match engine, and I still know people who play FM17 over FM20 because of the match engine, and they did add a lot to the match engine at that point as well. So I'm going to put Football Manager 2017 at the greatest of all time. I really think it was. The match engine was such an improvement on previous versions, and I think it was the best that it's been. Football Manager 2018 now, the introduction of the medical center and also a better scouting experience. For me, I really enjoyed 18. I don't think it was as good as 17. Of course, I did spend a lot of time on 18 as well. So for that reason, and the features that they added, I actually liked. So I'm going to put on, they also added the dynamics as well, if I remember. So I'm going to put 2018 at amazing. Football Manager 2019 now. Now, the only real features that they added to this was, the main ones anyway, was the training and kind of the presets for the tactics. Now, for the training, it's not something that I generally do, so I was expecting a little bit more. And yeah, I mean, I still played the game, of course, like, I love the game, but for me, it just wasn't, it didn't really feel like anything for me. I know I don't expect them to add stuff for me, but it just didn't feel like any of the main features really affected me, and it was just like an update. So for that reason, I'm going to put Football Manager 2019 at good. So Football Manager 2020, where am I going to put this? I'm going to put this actually at amazing, and I'm going to explain why. I think it's better than 19. I don't think it's better than 17. So, for example, features that they added. Let's talk about the youth intake preview. I don't like it. Just for the fact that sometimes it says you're going to get a golden generation, then the player turns out to be absolutely dreadful. Whereas previous versions, a golden generation would mean, wow, you know, it'd be really rare to get that. Another thing, the playing time pathway, I'm not a fan of it. I think at times it's just really unrealistic, which forces you to get sacked more often. And yeah, but I mean, in terms of the match engine and stuff, I really like the match engine. I think I've spent more time on FM20 this year than I probably should have. You know, I should spend a lot of more in real life stuff. But the channel has been booming, and I've really enjoyed making videos for FM20. You guys seem to have enjoyed it as well. But the amount of time I put onto FM20 has been a lot. I've enjoyed doing my saves. You know, I really like the assignments and stuff, though the affiliates are still broke, and I can't get an affiliate club where I can get youth players from that nation. But, you know, they did say they was working on that in a DM on the SI forums. But for me, FM20, I really enjoy it. I feel like the game's amazing. And that is the final tier list. So the greatest of all time, Championship Manager 0102, Football Manager 2014, and Football Manager 2017. If you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. And I've really enjoyed making this. So if you do want to see anything else like this, please let me know in the comments below. It'll be my pleasure to do something regarding Football Manager. But now is your time to jump in the comments and tell me how much you disagree with me. I know it's going to happen. Apart from that, I'll see you all next time. Jamie out.